Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brain here at Master Investor. Ensure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that we know when we go live or upload a valuable talk that can literally change our lives forever financially, as long as we're applying the information that we're learning. Remember, three important steps that we must take in order to elevate our lives is to learn something new daily in regards to money, apply it into our lives, into our strategy, get the results right, and then teach somebody else. That's the third step, is to help somebody else understand what we now have experience with, and that way we even become better at business. Because when we talk about investing, we have to cover the basics of business, because investing is having a plan, and we cannot talk about investing without understanding business. Ultimately, every investment that we make is based on a business. Okay. So reading financial statements is the foundation of true wealth. Our mission here at Master Investor is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple with lucrative opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Check out our website. The link is somewhere in the description of this talk or video, and it will give you access to our products, digital courses, and other assets that we have available for our members to help each other out building true wealth. This is all about having the right tools in place, and most importantly, having the wealthy context, because a lot of people are operating with the old rules of money. They have the wrong context when it comes to building wealth. They still operating with the poor context. There are two types of mindset when it comes to building wealth: the poor mindset and the wealthy mindset. We're going to be focusing on how to unlearn everything from the poor mindset and replacing it with the wealthy context. That way we have the right framework on our mind so that we can put the right content into that wealthy context, and then we can build true wealth, because we have all the necessities that are required for us to build success when it comes to business. A lot of people, when they call themselves investors, we find out that they are not investors at all. What they are gamblers, losers, because they lose their money. They have no plan, they have no exit strategy, they don't know where they're going, they don't know how to read financial statements, and they measure the return on investment with opinions instead of with facts. Remember, an inside investor, which is a master investor, an inside investor is someone that knows how to put a deal together. We create the opportunity and people lined up to give us their money because we have something that is valuable and is solving a problem to those people, to that niche. So let's figure out what type of problems do we want to solve in the world. Find out our niche, study it, do our due diligence, put our paperwork together. Today, we're going to cover how to prepare our corporate paperwork for our wealth. That's going to be today's theme. And if you like to read the article that we published on this topic, make sure you check out the link in the description. And if you go to our website, you will be able to access our newsletter from there. And if you sign up for it, we will receive emails with all the articles that we publish, and we don't have to leave the inbox to read the articles. So it's a better way, I guess, to get updated as we move forward with all the financial education that we're publishing. So take advantage, because this is a win-win partnership that we're creating now. We're providing a lot of value, content that will inspire anyone to become wealthier and faster, because we're using artificial intelligence and technology. We're using systems, because we understand that a business is a system of systems. We're going to be speaking about how to create our ideas into real businesses that turn into a brand. And we need to have our corporate paperwork in order. Otherwise, we could be building something for years, and then lawsuits will start coming in, and we end up losing the business and everything that we build because we didn't have the right paperwork in place. Remember, in order to become a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, we have to do the boring things, the legalities. That's one of the 8 integrities that makes a successful business extraordinary, makes it where it turns into a brand, meaning that it's going to last generations after generations. Even after we're gone, the business will continue to grow. We can see it with big businesses now like Apple, Amazon, and other businesses like Coca-Cola has been here for years. Like those are true brands, and we can learn a lot from these brands, right? Master Investor, Nike, all of these amazing and extraordinary problem solvers. That's what we are. As a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, we're looking to solve problems. We're looking to provide valuable solutions to the world, to inspire those that are in need of that solution. And we're going to innovate constantly, because if we're not innovating, then we're going to fall behind the new generations coming behind us. We need to lead our organizations to the next level. And the only way to do that is by growing the leaders within the organization. And it takes self-development. It takes the right culture, having the right core values within our organization. Remember, a business becomes like its own world. It becomes its own country. We have our own culture, our own mission, right? Every business is created to solve a problem in the world. So the question is, what is the problems that we want to solve? It could be many problems. Start with one, write down a plan for it, because investing is having a plan, and we measure our return on investment with facts, meaning that we are reading the numbers, we're reading the financial statements of the business. We understand what is going on, what has been going on for the past 5 years with that business. We see the flaws, we see the assets, we understand whether we can improve it or not. And we're going to make a sound decision to either take care of that operation, improve it, or we're going to pass it because it's a liability that we don't want to acquire, and we want to focus somewhere else where there's going to be a lot more gains for us and for our partners, right? If we're doing it in a group, or if we're bringing other investors in. Remember, when we put in deals together as an inside investor, money will fly to us. Money will start to knock on our door because we have something that is valuable. And money's always looking for homes, and, for lack of a better word, for places to be multiply, freedom units, right? And those people that have that money, the banks and private investors, they don't have the time, and they're probably enjoying their life right now, but they need to put their money to work. They understand that having money park is not the way to get wealthier or get ahead financially, because when we park money, we understand that what it goes back to is a natural value, is intrinsic value. The US dollar goes back to, because it's a currency, it goes back to zero. So when people put money in under their mattress, or they put it in the piggy bank, or they save it in the bank, what happens to that money? It goes down to its intrinsic value, goes back to zero. So it's not smart to save money. It's only smart to save money if we have a plan for that money. If we're saying, okay, we're going to save this amount to acquire this real estate property, we're going to use that amount as a down payment, and we're going to get a loan so we can acquire this property. We're going to turn it into an Airbnb operation. We can see that the neighborhood is blowing up with tourists. This is a great location. It's always packed with tourists because they're coming to visit the area due to the events and the attractions that this place offers, etc. So now we have a plan for that money, for that capital that we're putting to the side. But if we don't have a plan for it, and it's just being saved in the bank, then that money is losing value, and other wealthy investors and wealthy entrepreneurs are using that money because the bank turns around and lends that money to people that know how to manage debt, know how to put that money to work. And we going to bring that deal to the bank, and we're going to raise capital, because the job number one of a wealthy entrepreneur, as we learn here in our community, is to raise capital. And the number one skill is to sell without selling, using smart marketing and systems, because we want to be omnipresent everywhere at the same time when it comes to our brands, right? We want to have our business be known everywhere. And nowadays we can do it because of the internet and all the artificial intelligence that we have available. I mean, we're literally experiencing the best times that humans have ever lived, in my opinion. We have everything that we can ever ask for. We can talk to people across the world. We can sell on autopilot. We can become wealthy overnight, literally. We can get rich quick. Yes, we can, legally, Right. There's no reason to get rich illegally. It's too easy to get wealthy legally, to do it illegally and risk the ultimate reward that we attract as a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, which is total freedom. We don't want to jeopardize ever our freedom, our mind, or our time. Those are the three most valuable assets that we all have. Okay. And they come with us. If we're a living human being, we have time, we have our minds, right? And then we have our freedom. We don't jeopardize them three things at all. We're going to make sure that we put the corporate paperwork in order for our entities. We're doing business with the company. We're not doing it with our personal name. Why? Because we don't want to get attacked. If something goes south with the business, we have an entity that is acting for us. And the entity is basically a person that replaces us, and that entity becomes his own person. And now whoever wants to attack that company will have to attack that entity. Okay. And as long as we have the corporate paperwork in order, they cannot come after us. And we're going to show you exactly how to do all of this by understanding the basics of business. We are the authentic brand of money, business, and investing. Master Investor is welcome to our community. We're here just about every day. We're going to continue to provide more valuable content to our community and making sure that our digital products are growing. In fact, when we get in today, whatever additional asset we add into the digital course that we get into, we will always be grandfathered in to have access for those additional assets that we will add in the future at no additional cost. It's a win-win deal. Let's take action, because in a year from now, that digital course is not going to be the same price that it is today, because we are adding more assets into it to emphasize more on the topic of that digital course. As you can see on our screen, if you're watching us on YouTube or if you're listening to our podcast, make sure you also join our community on YouTube, as we have a lot of videos over there that we're publishing to help all of our members become wealthier. So we have 3 ebooks right now: the 10 New Rules of Money, how to build cash flow with the internet, how to invest in crypto to build wealth, and our 4th ebook will be released very soon, how to raise capital to build wealth. And we're working our 5th ebook. We have a lot of things coming out this year, so stay tuned. We also have available a live consultation if you want to sit down and have a mastermind, get some ideas down on paper and have some sort of plan to get started. Okay, we sometimes need that as entrepreneurs. We need to sit down and talk to a team of new brains and new perspectives so that we can get inspired, and it's worth the investment. So check out all the products that we have on our website. We have just about everything that comes with building wealth and understanding how to invest, like the ultra wealthy. It's all about self-education. It's about getting the education ourselves and understanding how to manage money, how to multiply our money. Rule number 1 in our community here at Master Investor is that we work to build passive income and make money work hard. We multiply money through sound investing. And sometimes we'll get capital gains income, but specifically we want to focus on passive income because that is the type of income that will create total freedom for all of us. Okay. And it comes in even when we're not working, even when we're sleeping, right? We call it, passive income, residual income, or positive cash flow. 2 types of income that can come from investing: passive income, or also known, like I said, positive cash flow, and capital gains income. A lot of people only know how to get capital gains income because they just buy, pray, and hold that the market will go up, and then they sell that whatever they purchase at a certain price, and they sell it to get those gains. And those are capital gains income. But a lot of times we can get cash flow instead of capital gains income when we have the right financial education in us and we understand what is that we're doing when it comes to the asset class that we're focusing on. There are 5 asset classes that exist as we learn here in our community. Those 5 asset classes are: number 1, business; number 2, real estate; number 3, crypto; number 4, paper assets; number 5, commodities. And they all require financial education. We're going to cover each of the asset classes inside of our community here. As we're growing our digital courses in our Bolt, we're going to cover every single asset class where we have all the tools available to all of our members in all humanity to elevate ourselves financially, to be able to create freedom, to have the ability to manifest our dreams. Our dreams require capital. It does, because we live in a world that money is the medium of just about everything, right? Money answers all things. Literally, it does answers all things. Whatever we inject money to, it magnifies. So we have to become great leaders so that when we have the capital and we have the cash flow coming in from all the sources and all the investments that we've been building, we can manage that successfully. We're not going to let it get to our head, because we have composure, we have control of our emotions, we have the right foundation, the wealthy context, the core values of a wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor. We understand how to build a true brand. A lot of people only building commodities, things that come and go within, years, and then they disappear. Somebody else takes away their idea and then run with it because they didn't have the legalities in order. So that's what we're going to be covering today. Protect our company and our assets by using the appropriate corporate documentation. Any questions, let us know. Drop it below in the description, somewhere in the comment section. We'll come back and answer. We'll have a dialogue about anything related to business, investing, and money. Summary. Find out why having the right corporate documentation is essential to safeguarding our company and assets. All of our company's documents should be in one location in our minute book. When putting together our company's minute book, make sure to consult the appropriate individuals. It is critical that our Corp, LLC, or LP has the appropriate corporate documentation. If it is not in place, the corporate veil may be breached and unlimited personal liability may be imposed. When someone wins a lawsuit against a company and argues that they should be able to collect from the owners personally because the owners failed to follow the corporate procedures, this is known as piercing the corporate veil. This is not what we want to occur in our ventures. We want to protect ourselves personally in every asset we acquire or build, from lawsuits, predators, and other liabilities. That comes with the game of being a business person and inside investor. Create the company's minute book. The purpose of the corporate minute book is straightforward. We will be far better able to maintain our records up to date if we force ourselves to keep all of the company's paperwork in one location, in one binder or a file online through our smart devices or computers. If one document is missing, for instance, the minutes of our previous year's annual meeting weren't prepared, we can easily identify the issue and fix it right away because of our minute book. We stay focused thanks to our minute book. It's all about documenting. I don't understand how people out there talk about hiding money and not paying taxes illegally. You should be able to show everything. As long as we have the right entity incorporated in the correct state for the most benefit to the company and the taxes, and we're able to show where are we spending the money, what is our business doing, we can show all of that. We can minimize taxes all the way to zero, because the tax code is a package of incentives for wealthy entrepreneurs and inside investors. The rules of money were created to benefit the wealthy entrepreneurs, the ones that are playing the game of money with an entity, investing, providing a solution to the world, partnering up with the government. What does the government want us to do? Invest in oil, invest in things that helps the economy go up, right? Technology, artificial intelligence, food, organic food, anything, solar energy, anything that will improve our world and the economy. The government becomes our partner and they give us as people call it, tax break. I call them tax advantages. They're not tax breaks, they're tax advantages. It's literally written in the law for us to take those advantages and be able to even keep more than what we're making, right? It's not how much money we make, but how much money we keep and how we make that money. That determines the level of financial IQ that we have. We may easily make our own minute book if we don't already have one. Get some dividers and a 3-ring binder from any office supply store and put in the following. Corporations. Articles of incorporation will go in there under the corporations. The Secretary of State's corporate charter. Form for a resident agent submitted to the state. IRS assigned employer identification number on SS4 notice. Bylaws, meeting minutes, annual, special, and organizational, along with notices and waivers. Distribute certificates, copies or originals, register for shares. Form 2553 should we have submitted a S corporation tax return. Next, liability. Limited liability companies will be the next entity. Articles of incorporation, organizational certificate from the Secretary of State, form for a resident agent submitted to the state, IRS assigned employer identification number on SS4 notice, agreement for operations, meeting minutes, annual, special, and organizational, along with notices and waivers, certificates of membership, originals or copies, membership register. If we submitted a corporate tax election, use form 8832. Limited partnerships, certificate of limited partnerships LP-1, the Secretary of State's certificate of formation, form for a resident agent submitted to the state, IRS assigned employer identification number on SS4 notice, agreement for limited partnership, meeting minutes, annual, special, and organizational, along with notices and waivers, certificates of limited partnership, originals or copies, register of limited partnerships. Please be aware that different states may have different names for some of the documents mentioned above. To keep ourselves protected, it is crucial to make sure our company minute book contains one of each kind of form. We should have a clear document retention policy in our company's documentation. Senior management of the organization usually develops a document retention policy with input from all of the company's employees. This policy's objectives is to establish our information preservation and destruction procedures. Simplifying this will save us time while looking for the information we need and will also aid if documents are needed in the event that litigation, whether it be a corporate or government disagreement, arises. Employees should always be consulted because they are on the front lines and are handling vast amounts of data, which data is important to us to grow the business, to understand where should we take the business. Remember, the customers will tell us where we need to go, what we need to create for them, what else they need. We need to pay attention and have that communication cycle with our customers, not just internal, but also external communication cycles with our customers. Understanding their perspective, where they're coming from, what else is that they want from our company and products. How can we make them happier? How can we help them with the problems that they have to even serve them in other problems related to the one that they're solving now with us? We're going to make sure that we deliver high quality products to our members or end users. We must get the right team of professionals within our company so that we can have the right documents in place, like the company lawyer, who ought to be aware of the legal retention periods for our particular organization, will also be involved. Among the things to think about are which documents are involved, these documents are where, in what way are they kept, who is in charge of them, for what length of time should the records be retained, who will make the decisions about which papers are destroyed or retained, how would the records be disposed of, who is responsible for implementing the policy. A document retention policy will assist us in maintaining control over a vast amount of information as the documents accumulate. Policy for document deletion. We will specify an automate email destruction date as part of our document retention strategy. Our policy might specify, for instance, that all emails that are not removed for reasons of relative retention will be deleted after 4 years. The thousands and thousands of emails we have from 4 years ago about unrelated products, solicitations, explanations, confirmations, directions, and meetings are absolutely unnecessary. Keeping it costs us money, thus dispose of it. All employees should be aware of and obey by the policy. Those who do not should face disciplinary action. Indeed, it is that significant, and those who follow it should be rewarded, and those who help the company grow, the bottom line, those who bring ideas into the company and those ideas turn into real profit and long-term success for the company, then those employees should also be elevated and should be rewarded accordingly to their value that they're adding to our organizations. That way they can continue to bring more ideas. They can go home and think about our company and how they can solve more problems within our company so that we can grow the bottom line, because they understand if they do that, then they will have more rewards and they will get wealthier as well. We get wealthier, they get wealthier. Win-win partnerships all the way around, transparent, authentic. Once we build that culture within our companies, we will have the best team around us. Nobody will ever want to leave us because we're creating the best environment for everybody to grow, and there's no limit. So everybody feels that they can add value and they can grow with the company. Very important nowadays, because otherwise they'll go to somebody else that is offering something better. And we want to retain great people in our companies and give them away for freedom as well. Today, with artificial intelligence, we can replace a lot of people, and we can put those systems in artificial intelligence to even increase our profits, because we need less people now to do even more. We need less people. We can do more by doing less, using less people, using more artificial intelligence, and still be able to deliver high quality products, even better products, because now they're more precise and we're doing a better job because we're using our attention to build other infrastructure with the company to even help it shine somewhere else. So we can now put attention where it really needs it. The policy should be reviewed for legal and technological upgrades and audited for compliance on a regular basis. Note that the litigation hold should be covered by our document retention policy as well. Document destruction must be stopped when litigation is reasonably foreseeable. We have an obligation to preserve evidence as a party to a litigation. Who has the authority to declare a litigation hold and what to do once one has been placed should be outlined in the policy. The next query is, at what point is litigation reasonably foreseeable? Certainly, serving a lawsuit qualifies. We have been sued. If we have been sued, for example, by somebody, however, a valid verbal threat of litigation or a demand letter is likewise regarded as a reasonable foreseeable event. We get a demand letter, let's say via email or the mail, by an attorney representing the other party saying, hey, we're looking to file a lawsuit based on these claims. Let us know if, and they will give you some options. Usually, we will accept this amount of money to settle. If not, we take it to trial. And then we have to make sure that we have all the documents in order. We have put everything in writing. When it comes to business, we have to have everything in writing and cover ourselves at all times by putting everything in writing with our customers, with our partners, with everybody that we talk to. Everything has to be documented correctly so that in case something ever arises, we have all the documents and the evidence that will knock any frivolous litigation towards our companies, okay? And the best thing we can do is have those documents and everything that we ever talked about with somebody in writing. So we follow up with emails, we follow up with the letters. We talked about this on our meeting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way we give them time to come back and say, oh no, we also talked about this, and then they can say, no, we didn't say that. And once we send that email, we secure those facts are the facts, and that way we moving with that. We're always going to stand on the facts, on the truth, and the evidence will always cover us because we're doing everything legal. We have clean hands. We're following the law. We're minimizing taxes legally. We're building tax-free wealth successfully, like the ultra wealthy, like we're supposed to do. The United States was built to pay no taxes. It's not patriotic to pay taxes. Please get that out of the head if that's something that you've been thinking about. Paying taxes is not it's not patriotic. It's actually the very opposite, because what happens is that we're going against the capitalist system. The capitalist system is built to provide a solution into the marketplace. And as long as we're doing that, using the right entity, using the right state, and we're providing the solution to the marketplace, and we're solving the problem successfully, we should get rewarded. And those rewards comes with tax advantages because we're helping the economy, we're creating jobs. So when we do that, that's being patriotic. Paying taxes is not being patriotic. So get financial education at all times. We should be investing in our mentors to get ahead. So whatever asset class we want to get involved in, remember, in order to protect ourselves from down economies and hyperinflation, is to invest in all the asset classes that exist, not just one asset class, but diversify among the 5 different asset classes. Hopefully we're starting with the business. That way we know how to put a business together, a deal together. We're raising capital. We created our idea into a real business. We're selling every day on autopilot, right? It has systems, it's growing, it's bringing in cash flow to us, and that cash flow is being invested into other asset classes. And ultimately, our businesses are buying our investments. And that's the best way to invest, right? We're not paying it with our own capital. Our businesses, the end users, our customers are ultimately paying for our investments legally because we provided a solution to them. And now we can use that capital to leverage ourselves to buy a real estate property, to buy more crypto, to acquire commodities, to acquire paper assets. And then we tap it into the velocity of cash flow. That's when we acquire cash flowing asset, we recoup the capital back, we keep control over the operation, over the asset, even though we have no capital of our own into the deal, and we still collect cash flow from the deal. And then we repeat the formula again. We move that cash flow into a new cash flowing asset, and we do that again. And that's the formula to the velocity of cash flow. We talk about it inside of our ebooks, how to build cash flow with the internet. So make sure, if we haven't read that, let's go to our website right now and get that, because it is going to elevate our financial IQ tremendously. It's a total guide. It has 49 chapters, 580 pages long of financial education, and step-by-step guide on how to turn our idea into a real business online, and how to put it all together, how to create that passive income and start getting cash flow every single day, even while we're sleeping. Just like in any preliminary inquiry conducted by a government or law enforcement organization, an accident or incident that results in property damage or bodily injury is also eligible. It is the best to speak with an attorney in this or compatible circumstances. We have to have an attorney in place when we build our business, okay? We have to, and there are many attorneys online to be able to have the right strategy and the right documents in case we have to do litigation, okay? Maintain current corporate documentation. Keeping our company's minute book up to date will be crucial in the future. Adding our annual and special meeting minutes to the minute book will be the main reason for this. Keep in mind that every state mandates the holding of at least one company meeting annually to demonstrate that the corporate procedures have been followed. The minutes of that meeting must be recorded in writing and entered into the meeting book. Even though not all states mandate yearly meetings for LLCs and LPS, the day will come when the limited liability veil will be breached if such meetings are not held. Therefore, it is advisable that we all also organize meetings for entities such as the LLC, Corp, and LP. The tax advantages that we gain are tremendous just by simply utilizing the proper entity which will be incorporated in the most beneficial state for its operation, and maintaining its proper paperwork will be crucial for ultimate success. Play the game of money with the wealthy context, new rules of money, and we must document everything about our operation. A wealthy entrepreneur documents everything and uses the corporate laws to minimize taxes to zero legally, making our wealth truly tax-free. It is not how much money we make, but how much do we keep and how we make that money. And how much money we keep under our control, right? That defines our financial intelligence. How much money we make, how do we make that money? It's not just how much money we make, because a lot of people make a lot of money and they end up giving that money away to the government via taxes. And they just are trapped on that race that is not very sophisticated on their part because they're not utilizing the laws to their advantage. They're actually going against the laws and the capitalist nature of this country. The highest level of an investor is a capitalist. Every time we put something together, we have people lined up because we have a solution that is valuable and we have a track record and people lined up to give us their money. So having the minute corporate book, very important. That's what we learned today, right? Having that in order, making sure we're documenting everything, every conversation, every lunch that we have with anybody. We document what we talked about. Any phone call that we do, we put down the facts, we write down notes, and we send an email following up the conversation to ensure that the other party is also aware of what we talked about in the facts, so that in case in 6 months and a year from now something arises, hey, we got to go back to that email that we sent that follow up because that's not what you said back then. And now we have evidence that protects us and protects the company, which is most important, because as long as the company is protected, and they cannot pierce that veil because our legalities are all in order, then they can never touch us. That's why the companies are created for, to protect us. That's why they were created by the wealthy, to protect us, the wealthy, the ones that are doing business. Let us know if you have any questions on today's talk. I appreciate your time. Start investing in high-quality financial education here with us, a Master Investor. Welcome to our community once again. Get our ebooks. We have 3 right now, the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchain, the rise of legitimate reserve digital currencies and assets. Get educated, because in 10 years from now, we're going to be grateful that we got started today and we took action. Master Investor's mission is to be the authentic brand of money, business, and investing that elevates the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education made simple. We look at opportunities to build passive income, win-win partnerships, and true wealth. Talk to you on the next talk. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the support here at Master Investor. Let's elevate our financial IQ. Let's solve problems in the world. Let's figure out what is our purpose in life. And let's learn how to manage and control our money, how to use debt as much as possible. We want to be in debt as much as possible. Why? Because money is created with debt. We know that because in 1971, August 15, President Nixon separated the gold standard from the US dollar. From that point forward, money became monopoly money, fiat money, an idea backed up by confidence and just paper. Once we understand that money is created with debt and that the government in today's economy works with debt, that's why we're over $31 trillion in national debt. It's not going to stop, and that's what makes inflation go higher, is the printing of money. And there's nothing wrong with that. That actually helps us become wealthier faster for free, because we can utilize the same strategy that the government uses, which is to print money using debt. As long as we know how to put a deal together and we can manage money, then money will find us and we can raise any type of capital, any loan. And money will find us and we'll have excess of money coming our way because it's looking for a place to be able to multiply and create more money. And when we use debt, since money is created with debt, all debt is tax-free according to the law. That's why debt is a tool that the ultra-wealthy uses for years to minimize taxes all the way to zero legally, because money is created with debt. Debt is money. And today, crypto is the new money in town. It's a currency just like the US dollar. It was accepted by Congress, I think it was last year in 2 years ago, 2023. It was accepted by Congress and now it's being used as a currency. We can pay each other with crypto. So everything is going digital. Everything's going, the money's changing because it always does. It evolves. That's why we need to stay updated. That's why money is no longer backed up by gold. People still think that money is backed up by gold. So they save money in the bank. They save money under the mattress. It's not longer real money. If you put it on the table and it doesn't go anywhere, it goes back to its natural value, which is a piece of paper. It has no value when it's not moving. That's why the most important words in the business language are cash flow, because the money must move from a cash flowing asset to another cash flowing asset. And cash flow is what we're looking for as an inside investor. What is our cash flow after we put all this deal together, after we invest the money, after everything? So how much am I going to get per month? What is my cash flow? What's in it for me? That's the key question right there. And that question will help us along the way tremendously in our lives. We'll make sure that you get out of places where we don't need to be, and it puts us in places where we need to be. Okay, what's in it for me? Once I do this, once the operation is done, once everything is running, what is the cash flow? What is and that's why investors wants to know too. The bank wants to know that. Once we're raising capital from the bank and we're asking for the loan, they need to see that, okay, what's their cash flow? What's their, the business going to be able to make the payments for the loan? And that's when we bring good deals, because good deals, it speaks for themselves due to the track record. If it's a real estate property, it should have tax returns for the past 10 years from the former owner. And we're going to show the bank the cash flow analysis. Look, this commercial real estate property has been making money. It's been totally occupied for the past 10 years. These are the five years of tax returns. It's making this much money every day after all expenses are paid. It has enough room to cover the loan every month and 100 more loans, right? Whatever that may be, because it might has a lot of, the commercial or the asset might bring a lot of money that we can actually stack up on different loans too. And that is when we get into the due diligence of the business. So cash flow are the most important words in the business language. And the second most important words are due diligence. All right. So today we talked about how to prepare our corporate paperwork for our wealth and why it's important to protect our company and our assets. Let us know your feedback below. And Stay wealthy and extraordinary. Bring you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Thank you again for listening, and thank you for your business. Bye for now.